This is my 2003 Yamaha Banshee. This thing has seriously been all over the place, and it has definitely got its fair share of city miles on it. You can see by the condition that somebody did the absolute bare minimum of maintenance just to keep this thing going. And we're about to find out that that lack of maintenance puts a serious toll on the condition of a machine. We're going to be transforming this Banshee into a brand new pre-owned 1992. One of the coolest color schemes that the Yamaha Banshee ever had. With that being said, it's also one of the rarest, and getting the parts are going to be that much more difficult. Something I always enjoy on a project that has a deadline. Yay! Parts supply on these sport quads takes a long time as it is, but this one's going to be extra challenging, and we've got 5 months to get the entire project done. Now there's going to be some custom touches to this machine to make it extra special for the customer's son. This is going to be a birthday gift for their 30th birthday, and they can't know that we're building this thing. So I'll be working with the birthday boy's father to covertly design and build this thing, and then we'll be traveling all the way to Tennessee to reveal this thing on a surprise 30th birthday party. Now at first glance, 5 months sounds like a lot of time, but we need to tear this machine down, see what's wrong with it, have certain parts custom designed and fabricated, and some of those parts may take a really long time, such as having the plastics made in the 1992 color scheme. We have to make build plans for the engine and build it, and then we need to make sure this thing is tuned up and dialed in for the customer. By the time all the parts get here, it's probably going to be close to our deadline, and suddenly 5 months isn't sounding like that much time. I have a feeling we're going to have quite a few sleepless nights getting this thing done. So will 5 months be enough time to completely restore this machine and bring it 850 miles to Tennessee just in time for the surprise birthday party? Probably not. Will there be lots of tools thrown at the wall, and will I stay up extra late trying to get this thing done? Absolutely. If you do enjoy this video, please give it a like and also consider subscribing for more content like this. Let's get our hands on this Yamaha Banshee and see what we can do with it. I'm here on this beautiful breezy day to proudly present to you this beautiful, very lightly used, unmolested, as the car guys like to say, Yamaha Banshee. Actually, that's all a lie. It's in pretty bad. It's got some interesting, well, why don't I just show you? I swear, it's not as bad as it looks. That's what I told myself when I first saw this thing. I closed my eyes, I told myself that, and then I opened my eyes, and it still looked the same. There's just a lot of, I mean, at first glance, it really isn't that bad. But then when you start looking closer, you start to see some weird things I've never seen before. So, like I said at the beginning, man, come on over here, let me show you what we got going on. So let's start off with the good, because that way, you know, nobody gets upset. I don't want anybody crying or anything, because I know people get really upset when they see bad things. So we'll start off with the fact that it's actually mostly complete. So, you know, you got the heel guards on here. There's a lot of stuff here that you usually just don't see on a Banshee, a used Banshee. So up here, we've got the Tours. See the Tours boxes in there? People get rid of those ASAP, man. Really, really crappy system. It was faulty from the factory. And what's even weirder is that these are aftermarket carbs. Usually people get aftermarket carbs to get rid of the Tours. So they got aftermarket carbs and put the Tours back on there. Really strange. Got the OEM skid plate. That's another thing that a lot of times that's gone. And we've also got the parking brake. So no block off on here. It's also got the coolant overflow bottle. Another thing that's sometimes not there. Then we come around here, we've got painted over plastics. It looks like there's a graphics kit on here or something. And they just painted right over it. Another OEM part that a lot of guys get rid of on a Banshee like right away. Key ignition, original bumper, all of the A-arms and stuff are actually pretty tight, dude. Like, check this out.
actually pretty tight. Usually, when I see a machine in this condition, I'm expecting to grab those bars and it's like all over the place. I don't even think it has a bent steering stem. I'm always scared to even say that though, because every time I say something doesn't have a bent steering stem, it turns out it has like a bent frame. This filter is thrashed. I don't know if that's rust or what. Oh man. Some mixed match bolts. The exhaust mounts, custom fabbed. But yeah, apparently it runs and it rides. So let's see if it runs. Now I've already got the starting fluid handy because, well, we just don't know. Gas. Looks like there's enough in there that we can get it started. Oh, we've got a jingler. That's actually a really common Banshee mod. Makes it easier to start because if it's too tight, it doesn't work as well. It's hard to explain. Compression feels not horrible, but just choke it. See, the problem is it's jetted from Mexico. I'm just going to assume we're getting spark. Actually doesn't sound too bad. Ah. Yeah, I really hope this has oil in it because it has no leaks. It might have the oil mod where there's just no oil in it.
Well, guys, if it isn't obvious, this Banshee is in serious need of an entire overhaul. We're about to tear this thing down completely, but before we do that, I want to see if it actually runs and drives. So I did a couple quick things, made sure that there was at least some sort of fluid in the radiator, and I pumped up the tires. Let's just see if the transmission even works on this thing.
First kick. Clutch feels kind of mushy. Oh, man. The air filter being really dirty, and I bet you the carbs are really dirty too. I'm sure that has something to do with the way this is running. Let's see if we can get some heat in it, and maybe then it'll run okay. Oh man. That's full throttle, dude. Oh, this is pretty bad. Choke is off. Oh, dude. You wouldn't be winning any races with this thing, that's for sure. All right, we're gonna do a full throttle run. Whoa! Dude. Oh my God. Here we go. Holy shit, what the hell was that? Did you guys see that smoke just shoot out of the side of the engine? Wow. Well, hopefully the other gears work. I don't think we have enough power to get out of second gear. I wonder if we can get some air. Nope. All right, we should stop doing that before it explodes. My God, this thing has no power whatsoever. Like at all. Wow.
Now, I know that you think this thing is running like an absolute top, but we're going to have to tear into this thing and fix quite a few things. Yet realistically, man, this thing sounds like crap. Without getting too much into the diagnosis, I want to hop to the computer immediately and get the parts on order. This is a critical part of any build, especially when there's a deadline. You want to get the parts on order as quickly as you can. Let's hop on the computer. I'll show you my plans for the build design, and then let's get some parts on order that we know we need. Then we can get back to actually tearing down the Banshee, and I'm sure we're going to find a ton of other parts that we have to order. Now, the color scheme that I want to do is a rare one. It's the 1992 Yamaha Banshee. I don't think there's any other Banshee that's really quite like the 1992. You can see it's got a teal color scheme, pink shocks, the pink graphics, the white plastics. So I think it's an awesome color scheme. Whenever I see any kind of like group of Banshees or like a Banshee ride, the 1992s just really stand out. Now, if you're a Banshee guy, you're probably like, oh, Mike, good luck getting those plastics. They're difficult to get. They're rare, they're hard to come by, and especially in good condition, they go for a lot of money. However, I've got the hookup, man. If you guys know Vito's Performance, they make replica plastics. They're supposed to be really good. They make replicas. You can see all these different kits of the different years of the Yamaha Banshee. If you're not into the Yamaha Banshee has got some iconic color schemes, and over the years, they've changed the colors. It's made it really fun for collectors. So they do have a lot of iconic color schemes like this 1987 style right here, but they don't have the 92. So I talked to Vito's. They're going to do a run of 400 sets of the 1992 color scheme. I'm going to get one of the first ones. So you know me, guys, I've got my rendering made up. I've got the FMF exhaust on there. Yes, we will be running the FMF. I'll explain that in a minute. And I've got bead locks in the back. I want to do some rock out rims in the front. Stuff that's going to make it very much OEM, but it won't be. It'll have a little bit better performance. I want to run some Elka Stage 1 suspension because they don't have reservoirs or anything on it. Put the pink springs and stuff on there. Keep it looking as factory as possible. For the engine kit, I've learned a lot with the Voodoo Banshee. That engine is great. That thing's a screamer in the top end and all, but it's a little bit unmanageable down low. I shouldn't say unmanageable. It's just hard to manage. If you're not really skilled with a two-stroke, it can be a real bear. So the 421 that I had on there before made a little bit better torque down low, and it still had great top end power. This is a head that they offer that looks just like the OEM set, but it has interchangeable domes, so you can make it look very, very stealth. It's literally called the Stealth Head. Add to cart. This is the suspension I'm talking about. I talked to Rocket Ron. He said he can color the shock bodies and bring those things back to life, put pink springs on there and stuff, so it'll look very reminiscent of the OEM pink shocks that came on the 1992 Banshee, but we'll have the Elka performance. Add to cart. In the control section, we'll go to the tires. I think it's really important for an OEM build to have OEM tires. So these are made by Doro. They're a replica of the original Dunlops that came with this era specific 1992. And then we're gonna do the front tires. They have the DI 2002. This is almost identical to the OEM tire for the 1992. So these should be perfect. Add to cart. And then the one other thing I'm thinking I wanna put on there is a set of Nerf bars, something like these old school DG Nerf bars. You know, they're not OEM, but I would say they're era specific. These old school, like small ones. If I can get pink nets, it'll match the pink shocks and everything. I just think it'll look really clean, and then I'll run the OEM heel guards and stuff. I think it'll be a nice look. Add to cart. The FMF exhaust. The reason I'm keeping that, because I know some people are going to be like, oh, dude, FMF is the most basic exhaust you can get. But I'll tell you what, FMF is a very good down low pipe. Really want that down low torque. So no matter what your weight is, you're going to get good torque with the FMF fatties. And if you notice, the silencer is kind of short because I'm going to turn these into shorties. The original Banshee that I had the chopped down FMFs, and they sounded really, really good. So I want to mimic that. So here's our girl right here, the way she looks, and we are going to turn her into that. Can we do it? I just don't know. 1992 theme. I think it's gonna be really sweet. It's gonna be a nice rider, and it'll just look the correct era. I've never really done like a resto mod kind of thing without like changing things radically. I just think that'll be neat. Really interesting what's going on with this engine. I'm really excited to see what's going on in there. It could be a lot of bad, or it's gonna be a lot of bad, let's be real. You guys remember that thing I said about how waiting for parts for this project is going to be extra long? Well, after contacting Vito's about the plastics, I discovered there was going to be at least a 4 to 5 month wait. So we are going to be getting down to the wire. As far as the cylinders, I went with a company called CPI, which is a top-notch company. However, the parts are on back order for those as well. We're looking at a 3 to 4 month wait just on those parts alone. So my plan of action was to order up all of the parts that I just showed you, as well as some other parts that I anticipated we would need. Then I sat the Banshee aside and addressed some other projects that I had going on. With the parts finally flowing in, we are now in August. So that 5-month buffer period is quickly dwindling away, and we're now down to about 6 weeks to do this entire project, and the plastics are still not here.
It is time to tear this thing down. I want to get inside this engine and see why it's running so bad. So let's clean her up. We'll throw her outside, put a nice shine on her, and then we'll tear her down. All right, first thing I want to do before I wash it is get this oil draining. Let's see what we got going on in here. Ooh, seems watery. And I also want to drain what I'm almost certain is water with green food dye in it. That might actually be coolant. Oh. You guys see that? It's like brown. Oh man, look in there. There's like turd remnants. That radiator's getting replaced. All right, here we go. Kill that dirt. Dirt stands no chance. All right, now's when this starts to get scary because we've cleaned off all the dirt and grime protecting all of the shod that it's been, all of the shod of this machine. Sorry. Oh my God, are you serious? Dude, the foot pegs are welded to the frame. So's the shifter. I already saw that though. Oh my God. Let's begin. All right, first things first, before we even get this thing up on the stand, let's see if we can get the axle nuts loose. It's way easier to do this when it's on the ground. Oh man, it's pretty tight. Oh, all right, I'm tired of playing games. Oh man, that's really tight. Oh my God. Whew, this is super tight, man. This is really super tight. Oh, there it goes. Oh, bitch. Can't beat me. We have to come up with a name for this wrench. And it can't be Big Bertha, that's too generic. But it's gotta be something. This one's a fighter too. Got some PB Blaster on there, we're heating her up. It ain't gonna win. It can't beat us. It can't beat me. God damn. Got like an extra heavy duty tie rod holding this damn thing from spinning and it's bending. Jesus. Really, I should let this soak like overnight with the PB Blaster. But kind of in a get it done kind of mood. The other thing is if we had an oxyacetylene torch and we made them red hot, like literally red hot, these would come right off. But I don't have one of those. This might be one of those axles that's a candidate to just be cut right off. All right, you may have won for right now, Axle Nut, but my friend PB Blaster is gonna soften you up and we're gonna get you. Didn't think that was coming off. Pretty sure this was a cross-threaded on castle nut of, I don't even know. The real question is gonna be, is if it moves. It's moving, we're good. As long as it's moving, we're good. Really, it kind of owes us this after the whole fiasco with the axle nut. We're gonna leave it there, but that should come out real easy once we have it on the stand. I just wanted to make sure it was gonna move. And hub nuts I can usually break free after the fact, but oh, that's the wrong size. I usually like to break these free just in case, because if they're super tight, then you're in trouble. That axle nut might be winning for the moment, but we'll get it. Let's take the engine out while we're letting that soak in some PB Blaster.
Ugly, man. Real ugly. It's not that bad though. It's all repairable. You can see this is the crusty edition. This is my favorite part right here though. Pretty nice mod. I mean, I guess you gotta do what you gotta do. Keep it running, right? Luckily I'm sure I can repair that. I'll have to pull this all apart. I mean, it's gonna be pulled apart anyways, but pile up some weld there. I'll have to surface it and then drill it and tap a new hole. Hopefully that's not representative of the inside of the engine, but it more than likely is. Frame is looking okay. It's not horrible. There's a crack back here. Have to repair that, straighten out this. You can see bent downward. I'm not sure what happened back there, but I think it is straight, which is the important part. All right, we'll come back to fighting that. Right now I want to get the shock off because I want to get this thing to Rocket Ron ASAP. Well, I don't really think there's going to be too much more exciting things happening as far as the teardown of the rest of the roller goes. So I'll most likely do that off camera. If I find anything, I'll be sure to let you know. But what I'm really excited for is this engine. I want to know what's going on, man, specifically with the top end. I think the bottom end's whack too, dude. Let's stop wasting time and let's tear this thing down. All right, man, I'm dying to know what's going on in this top end. I'm dying. I'm going to die if I don't find out. I can't live without knowing. Who comes up with these phrases? That's always good. Nice. Uh-oh. It's pretty corroded. There it goes. Oh, wow. Check it out, man. We have almost no piston damage. You can see this one looks good. It looks like it was rich, but both the piston tops appear to have no damage. Very surprised. And cylinder walls even look pretty good too. There is carnage though. You can see the head here. This exploded at some point in time and they didn't replace the head. And this is actually dangerous to run. That can cause detonation. All right, let's not disappoint us here, Mr. Banshee. We want to see some carnage. The people came to see carnage. We don't want these perfect piston tops. Not trying to hear that. This is all coming apart very easily, too. Okay, so once again, not too bad. These are Chinese pistons, and I would guess by the condition of them that these are fairly new. These things wear out really quickly. Depending, really. If they're treated right and they're jetted perfectly, you might be able to get some time out of them. But we're not out of the water, man. I did discover something. They are in the correct orientation. That's good. I've seen these put in backwards before. Oh man, the machining on these pistons is terrible. You can see the edge of these ports. They need to be shaved up. Definitely Chinese pistons. Well, the skirts are good. I don't know if you guys will be able to hear this. I do believe it looks like up in here that there's play either in the bearing or the piston pin. I'm unsure. And the rod feels like it's got a little bit of play too, but there's definitely up and down play. This one you can hear it a lot more. There's definitely play in the, something in there is not good. The lifetime of this thing probably wasn't too much longer. And I did notice this side here, I don't know, both sides, I think the base gasket was blown out, possibly on both sides. We had our little smoke incident. Holy shit, what the hell was that? And I think that was one of the base gaskets blowing out. Let's look at our cylinders. These don't really look that bad either. I'm telling you, I would say that these, regardless of the exterior condition, because they look horrible, I would bet these cylinders and pistons probably don't have that much time on them. Let's see this one over here. This one's got a big gouge in it. But like overall, not bad enough to make it run as bad as it was. All right, let's get these here performance reads off. Got the cork modification done. It's a high dollar job right there. I don't think these are stock. I think these are reproduction boots. They choke down a lot. And again, just like that piston skirt, there's like just poor craftsmanship, I guess you could say. I don't know if these are, they're OEM style at least. These are good cylinders. I would say, you know, the Chinese ones go for like $150 on eBay, new, but these have already been broken in and they've got the cork mod. So, and they've got the spring on here too. This spring here, see the one side's got the spring and the other doesn't. That helps you to discern which one is the left and the right cylinder, because really, I mean, you can see there's no way to discern which one is left and right, which can make it really tricky. You're really rolling the dice when you're installing these. That's a good modification there. I'm thinking like $299 or $399. I'll do like buyer's choice. It's a new thing on eBay, and you guys could pick those up for your Banshee. Okay, let's get our stator side off. Unfortunately, we can't even take this cover off because the shifter needs to come off first, and somebody welded the shifter on because, well, why wouldn't you weld the shifter on? So maybe we can grind that off. The flapper, man, a great addition to any toolbox. Can I angle this so that the sparks go down? Probably not. $999.99. All right, now we can get these lousy OEM bolts out from Yamaha. They use Phillips head from the factory and they suck because they strip out a lot. The heads strip out. Looks OEM. An OEM stator plate, which that's actually a good sign. Our nifty flywheel puller on here. Looks like an OEM stator. That's good. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but this flywheel rattles. That's a sign that it's bad. It's on its way out. And I also noticed when I pulled the expansion chambers off, they were filled with water, like a lot of water. And with the two-stroke especially, two-strokes do a lot of exhaust scavenging. It's part of why the pipes are big and bulgy like that. I'm not gonna get into the explanation of it, but you're actually cycling back. You're taking exhaust scavenging. You're taking exhaust fumes from the pipe and they're going back in the exhaust port. So we're actually, with the water in the pipes, we're taking water and putting it back in the cylinder, which is gonna make it run like crap. And a bad flywheel can do the same thing. So those two things alone could make a machine run really crappy, basically the way that it was. Well, it's definitely had bottom end work. You can see got some excessive RTV down here, and it's gray RTV, which is not good, man. If this is regular gray RTV, this is not two-stroke friendly, and gas actually breaks it down, which can cause leaks at the crank. And I would not be surprised if that's actually going on with this thing, the way that it was running. Oh, dude, this is finger tight. This sprocket bolt is finger tight, wow. You can see the condition of this nut right here. Stuff like this I'm gonna replace. This washer, wasted. This should really be replaced every time anyways. Sprocket is in really good shape. But what I do is I have my my little notepad here, and I'll just write down parts as I'm finding like bad pieces. And that way you don't forget, because believe me, you'll just forget, man. There's gonna be so many little things. You know, you're putting something together and you have, you know, a nut like this stopping you from building. So the list is key. Well, there was a through bolt on the Kickstarter, and I just wanted to show, I took that through bolt out, and the splines are really good on this Kickstarter. Yeah, that's getting replaced. Come on, mother, are you serious? Is this really gonna be this difficult to get off? How could this be so loose, but so stuck at the same time? Bitch. Yeah, you can see this thing is wasted, man. There's like no splines left on the one side. Surprisingly, the shaft actually looks good. My God. Well, whoever had this apart last time was definitely balling on a budget, because they used hardware that's, the head of the bolt is so big that you can't actually get a socket around it. So I'm gonna have to use an open-end wrench and like get it around, I guess, like 1/8 of a turn at a time.
Can't get the box end around. It's just way too close. And we've got our special bolt back here. I'm just going to be really gentle with this in hopes that we don't cause any more damage than's already is there. Unfortunately, the bolt bent probably when they were tightening it, so I mean I can cut it if I need to, but hopefully we can just fish it out. All right, that wasn't too bad. I'll probably reuse that. I mean, that's a pretty good mod. All right, man, here we go. Ooh, man. Actually, it doesn't look that bad. This probably, clutch has exploded at some point in time. You can see some damage on the pressure plate there. That's definitely not supposed to be there. But it doesn't mean the pressure plate's bad. I did notice the entire cooling system is really, really gross. Look at the impeller. It spins, I think anyways. Yeah, it spins, but it's just like really disgusting. I think, in fact, that it was repaired at some point in time. If you look on the radiator, there's this big blob here. Pretty sure that's a repair job. Looks like a fairly new clutch. Clutch pack looks actually relatively new. Actually looks pretty good. No idea what brand. The basket actually, oh, it's grooved pretty good. I changed my mind. Oh, look at that. Look at all that play. That's the bumpers are totally shot in the clutch basket. It's time for a new one. So I'll be getting a billet basket for this anyways. Oh my God, are you serious? Look at the idler gear back here. I'm sure that contributed to some of the weird noises that were coming from this thing. Whew. It's really dirty, like sludgy. Not sure why, all just inside the clutch. Probably poor oil flow. And this is grooved pretty bad. Might have some carnage here. Yeah, it's looking pretty, not the greatest. Wow. Look at the rivets on the back of this clutch. They're like smeared. It's like somebody started to grind them down to replace the bushings and then just didn't. Gear looks okay, but kind of doesn't too. I mean, some of these teeth, almost all the teeth look good, but like look at this one here. It's got just like wear on the back from this idler gear. Whew. That's got to be replaced. Shaft looks okay, but man, this thing is, look at the bushing in there, it's wasted. I wonder how long it was like that. I mean, the whole face of the gear is like polished and the gears are kind of rounded to the one side. It's probably been a while. I'm amazed that it really didn't seem to be causing an issue. Damn, even the kicker gear's Jesus. That's got to be replaced. This is pretty bad, dude. Not gonna lie. Even the primary drive gear has broken teeth on it. This is all stuff that's got to be replaced. Check this out, man. You're probably pretty close to catastrophic failure here. The shift star is loose. You can actually spin the bolt by hand. Well, I just pulled the one piston off, and the wrist pin bearing literally just fell apart. Looks like this one at least stayed together, but total junk, dude. Total junk. You can just see the cheapness of the aluminum in these things, like really low quality. This is like a melted down aluminum can kind of pot metal. $50. Good piston. All right, who's ready to see some transmission gears? I know I am. Not. Yeah, it'll be good. It'll be good. This thing couldn't wait for us to crack it open to find more carnage. Got a crack up here on the case. This one's not a big deal. There's a seam right here, I can just go straight across there. That's like a cosmetic thing. But then look, another hole down here is blown out. So, I mean, I'm going to be repairing this one back here anyways. So, it looks like I got 2 of them to repair. This is RTV Master 5000. I think it was just good and stuck together. No surprises on the underside of the case, other than like dirt and stuff. Just a ton of RTV. Surprisingly, and luckily, I guess if you could call any of this quad luck, all of the gears are good on the transmission. I just spent a good like 2 minutes checking each individual gear. The dogs appear to be good. I'll probably pull this apart anyways and just double check. But again, man, this Banshee owed this to us, man, with all the other bullshit. Trans does look good though. Go ahead and pull that out. Shift forks. Shift forks look good too. All right, well we've got some work to do here. It's not that bad though, but no, it actually is. It's kind of bad. So I'm gonna clean up the tools here. These are great, by the way. These Tubbo towels, shop towels, they're really good for cleaning tools, just keeping things nice, and they're good for cleaning your hands too. Like if you don't have access to a sink or you don't want to go wash your hands, just like to wipe them down real quick. But anyways, since you've been dealing with so much scum here, let's deal with some new stuff because I've got a ton of new parts, like a lot of parts. Seriously though, I literally just bought like $10,000 worth of parts. That's like no word of a lie, man. This stuff gets expensive really quick. It might even be more than that. But we got a lot of good stuff, and I mean, as you saw, this quad on the usability chart of parts, I would say we're at like for badness. I would say this is like a 7.5 out of 10. So like for usability, it's like a 3, 2.5. All right, man, we got some good stuff here. So the tires is what was in those huge boxes, if you couldn't guess. But these are freaking sweet. You can see I got them from Drag Specialties because this is gonna be the fastest quad that was ever made. It's gonna be the fastest Banshee ever in the whole world, ever. For rims, I've got the Rock Out rims, dude. I love these rims. I've been putting them on everything since the 250R. I think they're a really clean look. I like that they enable you to get rid of the disc guard behind the rim. They're kind of like integrated there. Just a clean looking rim. And then for the rear, these are by Rock, but these are pretty nice. Gonna be powder coating the rims. I believe it's a flat white, would be era specific. Sound all historical right now. But I'm gonna find that out. It's either gonna be a gloss white or a matte white or a flat white, but the rim itself will be white, this will be white, and then the ring is gonna be a flat black, and I'm gonna replace all the hardware with black hardware too to kind of make it like mesh into the tire and make it a little bit more stealth, so it'll have like the Resto Mod look, at least in my mind. Then we got some new old stock DG Nerf bars. These are old school Nerf bars that would probably be similar to the ones that you'd have back in 1992. We've got an aftermarket bumper and aftermarket grab bar. These are OEM replicas. This seems decent. It's not as good as OEM. It's definitely not. Like the welds, they're basically OEM quality. The bumper, this is the aftermarket bumper. It comes coated already, and it comes with the little bumpers on the outside. Not exactly cheap. It was about $70. It feels about the same as an OEM. The welds look basically like OEM quality. They're not beautiful, but they're not totally ugly. Kind of just like OEM. The one that came off isn't horrible. I figured it would be easier to just sell this one as a used one and get this upgraded one to, you know, just not have to worry about any of the dents or anything. And I'm gonna send all these parts out to get powder coated anyways. So whatever these are coated with, doesn't matter. It's gonna be matching the frame perfectly. Yeah, so we got a ton of other parts that are coming, that are in the mail. I can't wait till that stuff gets here. But like, did you really think that I just forgot about this? We're not losing this battle, I promise. Come on, PB Blaster, tell me you did your job. Bastard. God damn, dude. Dude, this is the tightest bolt I've ever dealt with my entire life. This is crazy. Jesus. Dude, this is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. This thing is like fused to the axle. Oh, we're out of Sawzall blades. You kidding me? This is crazy. Yes! Yes! Oh, you bitch. This thing still has the audacity to thread off and fight me till the bitter end. Unbelievable, man. I think this is going to go down in the history of toughest axle bolts. Look at that. This is a keeper right here, man. This is like a $5,000 item. You believe that? And look at that, man. No damage to the axle or the hub. It's all good to go. Well, guys, I'm going to go ahead and tear the rest of this down, repair the frame, and send this stuff out to Bonehead Performance for powder coating. Really excited to see the transformation of this thing, man, because this is a piece of crap, dude. It really is.
Well, guys, that sure was fun. Anyways, I broke down the rest of the roller, got my parts together, and took them to Bonehead Performance for powder coating. I also took all of our takeoff hardware, checked what needed to be replaced, and any of the stuff that will be refinished, I cleaned off in the tumbler to be brought to Moto Blast, where they're going to get fresh zinc coating and come back like factory new bolts. While that stuff's getting done, I want to take a precaution and make some custom tank covers for this Banshee. We're still waiting on our plastics from Vito's, and I want to have a backup plan just in case they're not here in time for the reveal. I took the existing gas tank cover, which was already painted from the previous owner, peeled the stickers, and stripped all of the paint off, and got it down to its bare finish. I found some spray paint that looks like it's going to be pretty close to the original 1992, but it's difficult to tell by looking at a computer screen and not having an actual example of the 1992 color. Now, these are going to be replaced once the Vito's plastics get here, so they don't need to be absolutely perfect, but I still wanted to take my time and do some prep work in case these end up getting used by the customer for some period of time. After several hours of stripping these down, cleaning them up, and putting several coats of paint on the inside and outside of them, they came out pretty decent. I just don't know if the color is going to be quite right. I still feel better doing this though, because when the day comes to reveal this thing, if those Vito's plastics aren't here, it's going to be devastating. We have to have at least something on this Yamaha Banshee. Now, since we're doing paint today, I wanted to move on to the next custom piece, which is converting the front headlights to LED. Now, this is a resto mod, so it's supposed to look mostly stock with improvements, and the lighting on a Banshee kind of sucks, so upgrading to LEDs should be a nice improvement. Now, not only do we need to convert them to LEDs, but we need to make the housings white. The Banshee was made for about 20 years, and the 1992 is one of the only years that had white housings. Finding a good set used is going to be astronomical in price. So in our case, we're going to paint the housings to look original. Using the same prep methods that we used for the tank, I painted up the housings for the lights. Then I ordered some custom LEDs that will fit inside the OEM housing, and I made a custom aluminum bracket that would bolt up to the back of our brand new LED. I managed to make these fit inside the housing and then put an OEM grate on the front. Now the Banshee purists will probably notice that the front grate is the newer style. If you were to actually get a 1992, there are slight differences in the grate. However, it was not easy to get this LED in there, so I had to use the newer style for the headlight guard. It still came out freaking awesome, and these things are way brighter than stock. I am super stoked with the way that this turned out. I also took care of our radiator issue. If you remember, we found a repair on the original radiator and it was filled with rust and grime. I got a brand new pre-owned one from Power Sports Nation, which saved us some money. I went down all the fins and straightened them out to make it look brand new and gave it a fresh coat of flat black heat paint. This thing came out looking awesome. Now, while we were busy painting and making custom headlights, a boatload of parts came in for this Yamaha Banshee. Let's check them out.
Man, this is exciting. There are just parts all over the floor. Just give you a quick pan here of all this stuff. And what's crazy is there's still so much more coming. We still got the plastics, we got the suspension coming. We have all the powder coated stuff is on the way. Clutch cover is on the way. Lots of good stuff. I'm gonna take you down the line here and just kind of give you guys a quick preview. There's way too much stuff to go over everything. This is stuff from Power Sports Nation. If you guys remember, the gears and stuff on the clutch side of the engine were just wasted. So we've got a new inner and outer hub for the clutch basket. We've got a primary drive gear right here, a flywheel. This is all OEM stuff, and we got a number of gears back here. Got a Wiseco clutch, a billet basket right there. Those are all the internals. Got our V-Force reeds, and those are genuine. You got to watch out, man. There's a lot of fakes on the market. Seat cover from Moto Seat. Brand new OEM stator cover, and these, man, oh yeah, those are CPI cylinders. I'm going to be doing a cleanup port on these things. Man, look at that. And I'm just super excited to run these. Hot rods, crank, it's an entire bottom end kit. Our clutch lever here, and before you guys go freaking out, I'm going to be coating this lever to match. Check this out. I've got a brand new OEM lever right here, and I've got the master cylinder from a 92. Well, it's actually from a 1990. This is from the OG Banshee. Yeah, man. I had it all coated by Bonehead Performance, and then I put a rebuild kit in there, put a new little sight glass. It looks like brand new. We've got these Tusk bars. They're gonna match, kind of look like the OEM ones with the flat black and the crossbar. I'm gonna take the Tusk cover off because the 92 just had like the foam pad with like 2 zip ties on it. So we're gonna try to mimic the look there. We've got some OEM parts back here. This is the key holder. These are OEM grips. We've got a Tusk off-road axle. That's gonna be a +4. That's gonna kind of go with the whole resto modification thing. Got a brand new OEM sprocket. We got a primary drive front sprocket, a aftermarket OEM style airbox because there were cracks and stuff in the old one, some bigger boots to fit up bigger carbs, an OEM chain. Never had an OEM chain before, like a new one. I think that's so cool to have it. This right here, guys, this is an OEM toolkit. Going for that OEM look. We've got a ProFlow intake system. Got a preview of the graphics kit. This is a stencil for the seat, so I can put Yamaha on the back of it. In here is a ton of OEM parts, just literally like $800 worth. It's crazy how much that adds up. We've got an XFR skid plate, but I think that's going to be a nice upgrade. Got some stainless steel tie rods there. That's going to go with our aftermarket A-arms. They're away at powder coating right now, though. Got a dual piston rear caliper. It's from Zoom Zoom Parts, and dual piston front calipers too. Banshees typically have the single piston, so we're doubling up the braking power. I did that on the Voodoo Banshee, and man, it is a nice upgrade. This is a new Kickstarter. The one that we took off, the splines were totally wasted, so I felt it was a good idea to just completely replace that. We've got wave rotors in the front because they're somewhat hidden, and then in the back we've got an EBC OEM style. And we've got streamlined brake lines. We've got all bearings, tie rod ends. And this stuff here is the stuff that I got back from powder coat so far. There's a ton more over there. I can't wait to show you guys. The powder coated parts look incredible. So probably in the next video I'll have that stuff here. But I did get the beadlock rings here. I saw the white wheels already. It's gonna look so good with the tires and these black rings. It's just gonna look so good. We've got the knuckles up there, brake, pedal, rear master cylinder, which I still have to rebuild. Some motor mounts. Got brand new seat foam from Moto Seat. Same thing I'm running on the Voodoo Banshee. It's just really nice to update the foam. And then these are the heel guards. These are aftermarket. You see how those fit up. I've never received a fresh set of Banshee cases. I think this is really cool. It is packed so well. It's double boxed. You know, this is kind of a fragile thing here. Then they've got plenty of packing. Got foam, And then you get this really nice heavy duty bag. I'm just gonna pull this bastard out of here. Oh. Wow. That is freaking awesome, man. Like if you were to show this to somebody who's not into engines or like show it to your girlfriend, she'd be like, what the f? Like, why is this exciting? It's like a piece of metal. But man, I just think this is so cool. All the clean, perfectly machined surfaces and everything. Just, I love it, man. I want to show you guys why I purchased these for this specific build, because you know, I had talked about repairing the old cases, and I found some more things that kind of made me want to go the new route. So here is the beautiful case that came with our machine. Man, what a comparison that is. But of course, I'm sure this could clean up a little bit better, but this is what I really didn't like about these. So there's a bunch of wear, first off. I don't know what happened here, but there's like a trench embedded in the aluminum, and then there's a significant lip right here where the crank bearings sit, and you can actually see a depression. And I don't want to put this thing together and be regretting it or have like some kind of issues with the crank bearing spinning down the road. Because of that, I mean, you can see the condition of, oh man, I don't want to get this thing dirty. I gotta be careful. You can see the condition of where the bearings sit on new cases though. There's not supposed to be any depression there or anything like that. And I just noticed little things all over the cases that kind of just made me feel like these aren't safe to run. I was back and forth between whether or not I should do another stainless steel bolt kit, and I really like OEM hardware. I think it's pretty much the best that you can do. In most cases, you know, if we're talking about like the engine on the Banshee, a lot of Yamaha engine hardware is Phillips heads, it's soft metal, and a lot of times they strip out. I don't like those. But in most cases, though, OEM hardware is very good. So since I wanted to go for that OEM look, I put up a poll on Instagram, and a number of people recommended Motoblast. So Motoblast is a company that's very close to me. It's about an hour from me. Really worked out perfectly. He did a great job. The before and after is pretty drastic. You can see they're bare. There's a couple rusty and dirty ones in there. James literally takes these, he vapor blasts each individual bolt, then he hangs them on wire and he dunks them in an electroplating tank. So if you're looking to have anything vapor blasted as small as some nuts and bolts all the way up to full-size car transmissions, or if you're looking to have zinc plating done on your bolts and some other small hardware, make sure to give Motoblast a call. You can reach them on the internet at njvaporblast.com. You can also find them on Instagram at moto_blast. Now, at first glance, this might still look really messy, but if you look closely in these boxes, everything is set and ready to go. As soon as the frame gets here, we're ready to start rocking and rolling and get this Banshee together. Now, I also have stuff over here. This is where I have all the engine stuff. I've got our cases ready to rock and roll. We're gonna be doing some case boarding on these as soon as the cylinders get here. We've got our 115 millimeter 4mm stroker crank. That is a welded and trued crank, so we should be rock solid right there. The transmission, one of the few pieces that are actually here from the donor machine, because if you guys watch this series, a lot of stuff has been replaced. I'm gonna give you guys a quick look into these boxes. Over here we have all the silver stuff, well, for the most part anyways. We've got our Alba extended A-arms. I already have all the bushings and everything in them. I netted up our Nerf bars. Those came out freaking awesome. Our bumper, suspension from Rocket Ron. It's just, everything's ready to rock and roll and go together, pre-assembled as much as I possibly could. We have the first ever white Banshee DRW belly skid. That should look really nice with the silver frame. Swing arm, it's all, got all our bearings and everything in there. Our tank is all cleaned up, and check this out. We've got a dual pingle. It's not a pingle, it's a replica or a different style. I haven't tried that style yet, but it looked more OEM. That's why I chose that one. And then I've got a really nice seat cover that I put on here, and check it out. On the back, I've got Yamaha. So that's all custom. The seat color is called Seafoam, and hopefully that'll match really nice. Now you may or may not have noticed, but there was this giant ass box here in the corner. These are the Vito's plastics. I'm dying to see what these things look like, man. Do not use knife to open plastic inside. It's very nice that they put that there, actually.
You know, I could imagine people just kind of go tearing into these things sometimes, and then it's like, oh, my plastics are destroyed. Now, because that's there, I'm gonna use the knife. Sorry, Vitos. So these are the tank covers. Man, does that look nice. Very nice, man. Here are the tank covers and radiators next to each other. These are the painted ones, and these are the Vitos. I don't know, I think that I just went a little bit too teal. We might have to recover the seat. I'm not really sure, but you can see the comparison there. Oh man, new plastics are just, it really is a privilege just to be able to open these. As a kid, I never had new plastics. And then all of a sudden, like this year, I've had several sets of new plastics. It's pretty cool, honestly. Give you guys a closer look at these beautiful plastics. They really do look great. The other thing is, these are the new style warning labels. So from what I understand, but something up until like 1999, they didn't have these placards where the warning labels are actually raised up. They were just flush on the plastic, and I don't think they were riveted either. So what I'm gonna do in an attempt to make it look at least more similar to the original 1992 is I'm gonna take these off, the placards actually remove, and then I'm gonna re-rivet these warning labels flush to the plastic, and that'll give it more of a genuine look for that time period. We'll address these warning labels once they're mounted up on the quad, because I think it's a little bit easier to drill these out and stuff when they're actually firmly mounted to something. All right, so we got the plastics on lock. We're gonna have to figure out that seat cover. Maybe I can get a different shade. I'll figure it out though. But we got the call from Bonehead Performance Coatings, and the powder coating is done. I already went and picked it up. Check it out, man. I got them done in blackjack, and it looks awesome. Very close to the OEM color. CP Industries hooked up the cylinders. Really looks great. Used the OEM hardware up here, trying to keep it looking somewhat stealth, somewhat original. You know, we gotta do with a little bit of stuff, OEM. Now we do have some work to do on these cylinders. I like to do a cleanup port, basically just going in here and cleaning up any roughness. If you see like up here, this little piece of cast, I can grind that off. Just make sure everything is smooth. And then I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna open up our transfer ports. I have our gasket. I'm gonna put this in place, and the gasket is actually, it's almost perfect, but it's just slightly larger than the ports. So I'm gonna mark those off, and we'll make the ports the exact size of the gasket. And then once I've done that, I'm gonna take the gasket and put it on our upper case half. And I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna match up our cases so that they're the same exact size where the transfer ports meet up. And you can see there's a good bit of material that I'm gonna have to take out to make them match up. That's gonna create better flow, and we're gonna get better performance. Engines are all about flow, man. The more air you can get flowing through them and fuel, the more power you're gonna make. And you can see, using the base gasket is a really nice template. That and a Sharpie gives us exactly where we need to cut out. Really hard to mess that up. So there's nothing more to do but to put on my headphones, listen to some death metal, and get to grinding. All right, so there it is. You can see how much we opened those up. It's not even close. Made sure to keep a nice taper on these. That should give a really nice flow. Put our gasket on there, and you can see all of these made up perfectly. Came out really good. You guys did a good job. Cylinder, I didn't go crazy with. You can see I smoothed out the exhaust. Just tried to get rid of any seams, imperfections and stuff. Smoothed out the ports, opened them up. For the stock cylinders, there's not as restrictive, but once you start getting into bigger cylinders and aftermarket stuff like CPI, the case porting, the way that it comes from the factory, just becomes really restrictive. So I think we should see some really big gains from this. All right, well, I don't know about you guys, but I'm about ready to assemble this thing. All right, here we go. I already got my shift drum and shift forks in there. I like to put my case sealer on before I even put my studs in place.
All right, now we'll get our studs in. These are all refinished by Moto Blast. These look like brand new. Put a little bit of anti-seize on our dowels and drop them into place. Don't want to forget the dowels. Then we'll drop our trans in place. And our crank. Just drop this bad boy into place. We are good to go. This should drop right in place. There we go. Oh yeah, that's nice. Well, it looks like the cases pulled together completely. I don't see any weird gaps or anything. All right, crank is nice and smooth. And transmission is nice and smooth. Ready to go to torque. There we go. Beautiful. These head studs from CPI are probably the nicest that I've ever seen. Got the little Allen hole at the top. Really nice stainless steel. Put some anti-seize on these. Got a brand new kicker gear. This was from PSN. If you guys remember the one that came out was trashed. Same thing with our idler gear. Whoever had put it on before either didn't put the clip on or it had fallen off at some point in time, and the gear was just kind of floating around in the back and smacking all over the place. Test our kicker out, make sure it functions. Looks good. All right, we got some more goodies. We got a billet basket. PSN Parts had sent me a new primary drive gear and a used basket, so I just swapped out the basket for this billet one. The primary drive gear is really what came in key. The one that came off, it had just seen better days, man. It was like a worn out shoe, man. You know, we're gonna be pushing like 80 horsepower with this, which for a Banshee really isn't that much, but it's definitely the type of performance that you could start breaking teeth off and stuff, so why even risk it, man? The center hub is also a replacement. The takeoff was toasted. Again, thank you to PSN Parts. All right, we're gonna lube up our clutch plates with AMSOIL 10 weight 50 dirt bike oil. It's pretty much what I use in all of my bikes at this point. It works great. Don't have any problems with it. Using a Wiseco clutch kit, and we're going to be using a lockup from Direct Drive, and we'll be using factory springs. I've got 6 OEM clutch springs, brand new. The whole idea is the OEM springs are nice and soft, easy on your hand, so you can get a lot of play in before the end of the day, because you know you got really tight clutch springs, and you know your hand gets all tired and stuff, and that's no fun, man. So the whole idea is make this thing comfortable to ride, but still get really good performance out of the clutch. These things are really easy to install. They literally just go right over top of your springs. These are all getting tightened down to 7.4 foot-pounds. And now we've got this freaking menacing cover from Direct Drive. Does it look stock? Absolutely not. Well, sort of. I even painted all of the hardware flat black to try to make it as incognito as possible, but I mean, see-through clutch cover. It's kind of a giveaway, a little bit. But is it badass? Absolutely. This is definitely, on the scale of badassery, this is like, we'll give it a 9 out of 10. We gotta leave some room for improvement, you know what I mean? But this thing is gonna look freaking sweet. Maybe at first glance, you wouldn't think that it's aftermarket. I don't know. I don't even care, dude. It looks great. And do you believe they had the audacity to design this gasket to strategically block my signature? What the f***, man? Hopefully I can get in here and just slice it away. Razor blade for the win, man. Man, this thing looks ridiculously good. I am really, really happy with the way that this thing is coming out. It just looks so clean. I'm just really, really happy. All right, let's get this bad boy on. Man, the CP head with the OEM nuts and whatnot on there, that actually does look pretty stock. So I'm liking the way that that looks. Now we're gonna go ahead and put our V-Force 4 reeds on. And we've got Moose intake boots. These are for, I think it's 33 to 35 millimeter carbs. We're running 35s, so these are gonna be perfect. And you guys didn't actually think I was gonna run a crossover, did you? Hell no. I've got this blocked off. This is a brand new OEM one. And I just filled this up with Yamaha Banshee, probably up to about there. I didn't do the whole thing. And it's just gonna give it more of an OEM look. I thought that would be cool. But it's not functional. It's not necessary for this build. It does look OG though. I actually kind of like it. All right, we're damn near done here. All we've got to do is the stator side. Put that in place, and you can see with the slots, you can turn it. And normally I put blue Loctite on these. Oh shit. Normally I put blue Loctite on these, but since I'm probably gonna be taking this back off to replace the pigtail, I'm not gonna bother. Got a brand new pre-owned OEM flywheel, and this will just get the blast. Usually it gets red Loctite too, but since that's coming off anyways. I'll put our sprocket in place. I usually don't tighten these down until the quad's actually together with the chain on there anyways. Just spin this nut in place. Then we've got our DRW case saver. It's a form-fitting case saver. You can see how it fits in the actual case. If you have one of these, you will never get case whack. These things are indestructible. They come with a lifetime warranty. They are the way to go, man. And last but not least, I've got a brand new OEM stator cover. Got the rubber gasket on the back. This just pops in place. You can use this with a DRW case saver, but you do have to cut this portion off. I have the piece right here that I cut off. You just take a Sawzall, just get that right off of there. I think this is actually like a chintzy form of a case saver from the factory. All right, man, I think we've pretty much done it, guys. I'm not gonna lie, I'm getting pretty tired here and hungry. I think a little bit of food would definitely help. So I'm gonna button this cover up, put the shifter on, and I'm gonna get a little something to eat here. Freaking starving. Man, I'll tell you what, there's nothing like a half-eaten cheeseburger, a pound and a half of chicken, a cup of rice, a brownie, and a bowl of cereal to make you feel better. That sounds ridiculous when I say that, but it definitely hit the spot. So this is my favorite part. Let's throw the pipes on there and the carburetors and just see what it looks like. This is, I feel like this is an obligation, man. This really is my favorite part though, because you get to see all your hard work laid out in front of you. I really like to see the way an engine looks on the bench. It's kind of cool. It's like a piece of artwork. And now we've got our carbs. These are 35 millimeter PWKs. And then we got to put the pod filters on, even though we're not running pod filters, just to complete the bench look. Oh yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Now you can't tell me after watching that you don't want to build yourself a Banshee engine. Shit, I just got done building one and I want to build one already. Well, not really. I need at least a little bit of a break. But really, I am super happy with this thing, man. I'm pretty proud of this, I'm not gonna lie. So let me show you guys exactly what I did, man. It's no word of a lie. It was 15 hours yesterday, just a ton of work, man. If you're ever building a machine and you're struggling putting something together and just nothing seems to want to go together, dude, just hang in there, don't sweat it. It's all a part of the game. This machine is, I would say like 80% replacement parts and aftermarket parts because it was just in such bad condition. So when you have a lot of new parts, whether or not they're high quality or economy parts, aftermarket stuff it just usually doesn't fit right out of the box. It usually has to be tweaked just a little bit, and some of this stuff, well, almost all of this stuff has needed a little bit of tweaking. So a part that might take 10 or 15 minutes to put on, or even less, maybe just a minute to bolt something in place, sometimes ends up taking like an hour. So you do 8 parts, that's 8 hours of work, and you can see that's very time consuming. Probably the biggest time consuming pieces were these freaking heel guards, man. So I don't know if I mentioned that these are aftermarket heel guards. You can get just about everything for Yamaha Banshee aftermarket. You can get eBay, Amazon. They've got cheap stuff, they've got expensive stuff, and the construction is good. They're nice and solid, but I'll tell you what, it was not easy getting them to fit, man. They didn't match up at all, man. This pole back here needed to be bent straight, and just other stuff too, man. You can see I ended up drilling another mounting hole underneath there. That really doesn't look too bad. It just looks like there's 2 different mounting holes. Now I think it's good. It's nice and solid. That's the important part. You can see we've got the Vito's plastics on there, the heel guard plastic pieces back here. Everything seems to line up pretty nice. It's aesthetically pleasing to the eye, which is what's important to me. It's functional, it should be strong, and it looks good. Now the frame itself, I got that back yesterday from Bonehead Performance. Oh shit! Oh man, that could have been so bad. That could have been terrible. Could have just fallen and crushed everything. Bonehead always does a phenomenal job. This is the color BMW Silver. It looks very, very, very much like the OEM color for 1992. Now there's a number of other things I've been doing here. I recovered the seat. It doesn't quite match. I think it'll look okay. I discovered that Cascade Innovations, they'll make a 1992 reproduction seat. I didn't know that, so I called them up, and it's an 8-week lead time. So for now, we're going to use this seat. I don't think it's going to look too bad. Once we get the graphics and everything on there, the colors, I think we'll see. But that will eventually be replaced when the new seat cover comes in. But for now, I'm not going to wait 8 weeks to get this thing together. Got the hub, bearings are packed and everything. Check these shocks out, dude. These are from Rocket Ron, dude. Rocket Ron's where it's at when it comes to suspension, man. So these are the Elka Stage 1s from the OG Banshee. He completely refinished them and made the shock bodies to match the 1992 color scheme. So they're non-reservoir shocks. I felt that was probably the closest we could do to an aftermarket with performance, but still maintain the factory look. Really, really nice. Got the gold reservoir on the rear shock, just like it came from the factory. If you guys have any suspension needs, make sure to hit up Rocket Ron Suspension, man. He does all my suspension, and I love the work. The deadline, we need to leave Friday at 8 a.m., and it's Wednesday right now. So we literally need to have this thing finished by tomorrow night. I've got to be packed up. And then I've got an 850-mile journey all the way out to Tennessee where we're going to be revealing this thing. But since we've got such a tight timeline here, I'm going to be doing a lot of this stuff after hours on my own time and just getting this thing together. But we've got a lot of stuff for you to do. One of the first things that I want to address, there's 2 things actually, because I wanted to show the fitment of these things. And I did have them fit up with the tank guard on there, and I noticed it doesn't quite line up. And I don't think it's actually the plastics that are not lining up. I think the frame is bent, dude. Like, I think at this point, this is just a best case garage thing. The frames are always tweaked. So I can usually tell by putting the steering stem in and getting it to the neutral spot, and what I mean by neutral is, it's in the bearing down there, and it's not gonna be perfectly tight. There's a little bit of play. So you go to the front, and that's the back, and in the middle is about where it should be setting. And you can see it's almost like a V. That should be perfectly parallel for the upper steering stem mount. So this one is not. It's just, like I said, about 1/4 of an inch back. And because the 2 tank cover mounts are up here, they're actually pushed back a little bit. They need to be pushed forward just that little bit of 1/4 inch. So we're gonna fix that now.
Now, in order to fix the frame, we need to remove the plastics. And taking care of the warning labels will definitely be easier with everything bolted down. So let's do that first. The first thing I did was drill out all the original rivets, being careful to save the tiny washers that the rivets go through on the back side of the plastic. Then I used the heat gun to heat up the decals because there is an adhesive backing, and I pulled the decals off of the placards, being careful not to kink them as I pulled them away. Then I lined the labels up on the plastic, this time leaving the placards out, riveted them in place, and then hit it with the heat gun just to make sure that the glue on the back of the warning labels would adhere to our plastic. Now they're nice and flush, and they look just like the original back in 1992. I also had a custom spec plate made out of stainless steel where one of the original warning logos went. It also shows the bore, stroke, 421cc displacement, and the build date for this machine.
Now let's go ahead and get the plastics and tank off so we can straighten the frame. Well, there it is. Does it look hack? Yes, it does. But will it work? Absolutely. So I've got a series of 2x4s basically utilizing the cross brace for the rear shock and the grab bar all the way in the back. I've got a steel plate on this little block thing up front here so that the boards, the jack won't crush the board. It'll actually push the whole frame forward. So let's give it a shot. Hopefully nobody gets hurt, but they might. You can see it. It's moving right away. Right about there. Looks pretty good. Nice and parallel. It doesn't have like that V shape anymore. And now the bushing fits right in there. I bet if we put our tank and our tank guard on there, these holes will line up perfectly. Well, I went ahead and measured it, and that worked. But we're really limited on time here, so we might as well do the right thing and spend an hour or two getting aerial shots of all the parts laid out on the driveway. All right, quick rundown, guys. I can't take too much time here. This takes a really long time to get this stuff out, and we are so limited on time. But I know you guys love seeing these quads, you know, in exploded view. And it's not every day that you get to see a Yamaha Banshee all brand new in a million pieces on the driveway. And I thought about it, and I was like, I can just sleep when I'm dead. Problem solved. Let's just go over this stuff real quick. We've got the engine. There is one small difference right there in that clutch cover. And then we've got all of our electronics out here. This is a wire harness from South Texas Banshee. We've got our Cascade exhaust shields or protectors, whatever you want to call them. FMF silencers, they're shorties, by the way. They sound nasty. These are the Alba A-arms, and I'm gonna go over those when I put them on because I was kind of skeptical about them. We've got the beadlock rims in the back. We've got our Tusk extended axle. We've got our Emosi thumb throttle. Can't do without that. And we've got our cables here, and that's pretty much it, man. All right, enough talking. Let's get this stuff in the garage and start building. You know, I even put my gear on for those shots because I felt like it matched and it just really completed the look of the whole action figure thing. Now, I hate to do this to you guys, but I'm gonna have to put you on a time lapse and I'm gonna take care of this work on my own. We gotta get moving on this thing. But don't worry, guys. I will be stopping along the way if there's anything I need to show you. So let's get into it. All right, man, we are moving along really, really fast. You guys are doing a great job. I wanted to stop and talk about these Alba A-arms. So these are +2s. These are, I think they're like their basic ones. They have ones one step above this too that can accept long travel shocks. These are super affordable though. I did the other side because I wanted to see how, you know, they fit up before I talked about them. And I gotta say, man, these might be the best fitting A-arms I've ever installed. They're very precise. So I'm just gonna go ahead and we'll pop them on together. Look at that, dude. Slides right into place, even with the powder coat. It does not get any better than that. And we've got our brand new hardware. I've got some ANICs on there. Put a little blue Loctite on both of these. Even though they do have locking nuts on them, I still like to add a little bit of safety with these. It doesn't hurt to put some blue Loctite. Same thing on this side, man. Really nice fitment. And we've got our Rocket Ron shocks. These colors look awesome, dude. I never thought I'd be a pink guy, but honestly, man, this is a freaking sweet looking machine. I'll pop the spindle in place so you guys can get an idea what these look like. And then you're gonna get stainless steel tie rods with this kit as well. Really nice solid tie rods. And my favorite thing about these is they have the notch, so you can grip them with a wrench when you're adjusting your tie rods. Some A-arms don't have them, believe it or not. And that can be a pain in the ass, man. It is 3:20 in the morning. Been going since 7 a.m. this morning, and not even Domino's Pizza can keep me awake right now. So I've gotten to that point where productivity is really starting to dip, and it would be better to take a couple hours of sleep. We'll get up at 7 a.m. and continue trudging forward. We are making good progress though. We've got a couple snags. The whole front end's together. The back end is mostly, it might be all together, I forget. Got to do the brake lines and stuff. Axle does not want to spin. It will spin, but it's really tight. I'm not sure if it's a spacer issue or something. I'll have to get that sorted out. And then up here, I've got a clearance issue with the risers hitting the tank guard. Just little stuff like that. But otherwise, going pretty smooth. Should all come together. It's just been little tedious things where even with all the pre-fitting, just with all this aftermarket stuff, it's really tough. It's rare that stuff just goes together. So it's been very time consuming. So we'll get after it tomorrow, 7 a.m. I'll see you guys in the morning. It is 7:45. I let myself sleep another 30 minutes. I think we got this today, man. I think everything is gonna just go together, no problems. All right, guys, we're making a lot of headway here. It's 6 o'clock in the afternoon. I don't know that we're gonna get this done for tomorrow morning. So possibly have a change of plans. I wanna just get this thing as far along as possible, and we're just gonna have to see what happens. Let's just keep soldiering along here. I'll show you guys the progress. I've got the controls all done up here, the clutches, I guess adjusted. I'm gonna have to try it when it's actually running. The clutch feels really good though. It's a really easy pull. The thumb throttle by Hermosi is on there and adjusted. This ended up taking an hour and a half to install because I couldn't get it adjusted right to where both of the slides were opening all the way up. They were only opening to like here. But we're good to go now. And also I discovered that I ordered the incorrect throttle cable. I ordered the one that is for like the Tours system, which is it looks the same all the way up to here, but it can't hook up to the aftermarket carburetors. Luckily, I had this one. It's actually from the OG Banshee, but it's a fairly new cable. Well, new old stock, I guess. It was only on there for a short period of time. I lubed it up, and it's in really good shape. Stuff like that, though, has just been adding to the time consumption. All of the bolts are torqued on the front end. I've got the alignment and everything almost completely dialed in. It's pretty close. That's probably going to be like one of the finalizing things. The pipes are on there. That's like one of the only things that went on there easily. The FMFs, that's one of the reasons I chose the FMF is because fitment on them is just great, and you can fit the airbox in between them. But the airbox isn't fitting either, so we're probably just going to run pod filters for right now. Almost everything is adjusted in the back. My dad stepped in and he's been helping out. He's been torquing bolts down and stuff and just kind of chipping away. And we're making progress, moving slowly though. Like, for instance, this brake pedal, it hits this clutch cover. We could cut a section out of there, but then we're going to lose strength down below. So I think really a custom lever needs to be made. I'm going to deal with that later. The foot peg was also hitting, so I had to shave some off of the foot peg. I went to go test the compression, and I couldn't even do that because the foot peg has the kicker stopper on it. And I don't like kicking it over without the kicker stopper because I think you can actually crack the case if you kick it a little too hard. So I discovered, it just takes a little bit of love shaving, rounding the back off, and then I put some coating, some matte black coating on there to match it. So that's good to go. Like I said, just chipping away, it's just moving really slow. Nothing wants to just go in place. It seems like everything just needs a little bit of encouragement. Anyways, we need to put the wire harness on before we can start it. And the reason I stopped right now to talk to you guys is because we've got a really special wire harness. Check this thing out. This is from South Texas Banshee. This is the best wire harness that you can get for the Yamaha Banshee. So you guys have seen me struggle with wire harnesses in the past. It is worth it to get a good harness. Like I said before, this is the best harness you can get for the Yamaha Banshee. Enough talking, let's throw it on the machine and get this thing started. Well, I must say that wire harness fits up really nicely. Then I went inside to eat dinner and I fell asleep for like 3 hours while eating. Anyways, I've got fuel in there. I've got oil in there. I've got probably about, I'd say 25 to 1. It was a little bit heavy. I wanted to do 28 and I went just a little bit heavier just for extra measure for first start. And we're running 93, man, pump gas. Let's see what happens, man. Make sure we're not in gear. All right, here we go. She runs. Why am I not more excited? I think I just need some sleep. So, throw the radio on. Yeah, radiator. Man, I need sleep. That's better. Man, we have been working our asses off, my dad and I. We must have spent, I guess, the whole day, like probably a whole 8 hours. I don't know, we haven't even been keeping track of time today, just moving as fast as we can. Oh man, but we got her dialed. Listen to that. Doing some heat cycles. I got the fan on the front, keeping her cool. Let's see what our temperature is here. 120, that's pretty cold. It's been running probably for like 10 minutes. It's probably been idling. Probably if you took the fan off, it would rise up a little bit. But we'll still have to play with the jetting. Pop helped me out a ton today. Plastics are right here. Basically, the plastics go on. The skid plate goes on. I always do skid plate like dead last because I've been checking for leaks and stuff. I had a radiator hose leak. I think all that stuff is fixed now. And with the skid plate on there, it can make it a pain in the ass to get in there and fix stuff. So I usually don't put that on until usually like a couple days after, because I like to cruise around and work the kinks out and stuff. But it sure looks great, man. Nerf bars and everything are fitted up. Everything is rock solid, dude. I really like the controls and everything, the wheels. It just looks awesome. It's about 6:30 right now on Friday, way behind schedule. So I'm fitting to hop on this thing, take her for a rip. I haven't run it yet. We'll make sure the gears work and everything. Maybe get just a taste of the power. Not gonna go crazy because we, warming this thing up. Dude, I don't know why people bash FMFs. They say they don't sound good and they say they don't perform good. Both of those are wrong. You just have to know how to build an engine, bro. I think this thing sounds nasty. Oh, baby, here we go. I've been working my balls off for this. Brakes are a little spongy, but they'll work. Woo! Oh, man. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little bit nervous here. It's been a minute since I've ridden my 421, or really ridden at all. Oh man, and I know these things have retarded power.
right, here we go. Clutch feels good. Oh man, nice and smooth. Oh, does that sound healthy? Oh boy. Second, third, fourth. Well, we got 4 gears. Let's make sure. Got all 6. Third, fourth, fifth, sixth. Yeah. Woo! How does that sound good, dude? We're just gonna give her a, maybe just a little bit of beans. We don't want to break this thing already. Let's just roll on a little bit. Oh yeah. It sounds so good. Brakes are definitely soft. Whoa, shit. There's the power band. Damn, dude, this thing feels good. I'm not used to Banshees feeling this good. But it feels really, really comfortable. Want to make sure we didn't, forget to tighten any bolts, because that does happen, like, honestly, almost every time. There's at least 1 or 2 bolts that I just forgot to tighten. There's so much that you do on a build. It's easy to do. I can hear the tires burning out. It's I think this thing has a shitload of power. Oh my god. Oh man, my levers aren't tight. Oh dude. I think what we're gonna do is go back in. She runs good, feels good. Oh boy. I don't want to get off though. Oh man, this thing has so much torque. This was the goal. The goal was Voodoo Banshee top end, but more bottom end. Because the Voodoo Banshee just has, the bottom end grunt just really isn't there. Oh yeah. Oh my god. This is definitely a success. I can't wait to get on this. I know it might sound like I'm getting on it, but dude, we're like touching the tip of the iceberg here. This thing is gonna rip. Oh shit. Oh dude, I need more brakes. Look at that, I'm squeezing all the way. I gotta do some more brake bleeding. Oh dude. Oh, I don't want to get off. We're so late though, dude. We have to. Quick sound check. Quick sound check. Oh, I don't know if you guys can hear that little. That's the tires just burning out. It's burning out and it's doing a wheelie, dude. Oh, that sounds so good. Yes. Oh, man. Oh, yes, dude. Hell yeah, dude. That is some solid work, bro. That's 16-hour days. 5 days in a row, baby. Yeah. Good.
right, guys, it is 1 a.m. Friday night, so technically it's Saturday already. We are basically as late as we can possibly be. We've got 13 and a half hours to go, 850 miles all the way out to Nashville. It's gonna be crazy, but it's gonna be worth it. I'm really excited about this. So I didn't even have time to really film the finalizing of the quad. The Banshee's in the back. I don't know if you guys will be able to see it back there. It has been a long week of legitimately like 16-hour long days. Realistically, like 16 hours and then maybe 4 hours of downtime and then 4 hours of sleep ever since Sunday. And today is now Saturday. So it's been a long one, but it's worth it, man. When you put the hard work in and stuff, I feel like that makes it that much more worth it. And the quad looks freaking awesome. I can't wait for you guys to see it, man. I haven't really had a chance to even just like look at it myself and enjoy it, but it looks really, really nice. It's freaking sweet. All right, guys, first part of the trip, first stop. We've gone about 200 miles. Literally just drove the truck down to below empty. I was legit holding my breath there. I have run this truck out of gas and had to put 2-stroke premix on the side of the road. And I don't have any premix with me, so this is how the Banshee is. Got a saran wrap all around the quad, then a cover, and then this cargo net. Usually works pretty well. Yeah, so I'm gonna run in, hit the head, maybe grab a snack and get back on the road. See you guys there. We're about 10 minutes out. We're out here in Tennessee. We're about to get to my buddy's pop's house. We'll show him the quad first, and then we're gonna take it someplace else. And I'm actually not sure exactly what the plan is for this reveal, so this is gonna be a surprise for both of us. We made it.
Found it. Thanks for the drive, buddy.
You sure you're okay with filming?
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah. It's a long haul, ain't it?
Yeah.
I'm glad you made it. It'll be worth it.
All right, real quick, give us a little brief rundown of what's about to happen. Somebody, anybody.
We're about to reveal the sickest quad in history.
Ever?
Ever.
Like no one's done anything cooler than this.
Never, dude.
Rich, what do you think?
I think he's gonna love it, but he's into 30-year-old pieces of shit. This is a 30-year-old nice thing, so we'll see if he likes it. Should be pulling any minute. Well done. It looks sick.
Is that the GMC, the black GMC? Yep, that's him. Tyler is pulling in.
Dude, I'm nervous.
All right, Tyler's pulling up.
Me and Rich have been working on this for months.
Oh, yeah.
So this is like all the pieces, and literally finishing it last night. Like, what are the odds?
Oh, yeah.
So I'm just nervous. Here we go.
Ready?
Yep.
All right, you guys ready? Yep. Come on in, man.
Oh my god. That is sick. No! No way! Bro, I've been watching this thing get put together. I'm like, this thing is so sick.
Yo.
Bro.
Wow. That's awesome. Damn.
I've seen this on Instagram. This is pretty badass. It's pretty sick. Thank you.
So you know what it is, but a lot of not other people know what this is, right? Now there's some other special touches in there that Mike will go over, but happy 30th. I got you a 30-year-old used dirt bike. Or used yeah.
Same age.
It's 30 years old.
It's so sick.
It's brand new pre-owned.
Yeah, brand new pre-owned. Looking forward to seeing the first scratches you put on it.
It's so sick.
Keller did not write.
Yeah. I'm not going to write it.
He already broke it.
He looked at it.
This is so sick.
The Lexington cover.
Oh, yeah.
I got your logo laser etched in there.
Hold on, let me get a flashlight.
Bro, I literally was waiting for this note. I was going to be like, all right, now how much do you want for it?
He was sending me DMs, and I'm like,
So I knew you were. So you remember you had Mike over to your house, March, whatever?
Yeah.
That's when this started. So I pulled Mike aside back then and started talking about this, and that's when we kind of started this project, was back when we first met in March. So I knew you've always wanted a 1992. They're impossible to come by. You can't get used plastics. You can't find it anywhere. And if you do find one in this condition, it's 30 grand all day. So this is a new, rebuilt, limited edition 92.
So you may have noticed Tyler said, I've been watching this thing get built and I was going to make you an offer. For those of you that don't follow the channel, as I was building this Banshee, I was putting out series videos. So that's why I said we needed to be a little bit sneaky with this thing and we couldn't let Tyler know that this was actually being built for him. Because he has a YouTube channel with over 8 million subscribers and goes by the name Wildcat, and it would have been pretty obvious if he saw that it was being called the Wildcat 421. As soon as I started building this thing, Tyler had actually sent me DMs asking to buy the quad from me once it was finished. Little did he know that we were actually building it for him.
Bring around the rosy, pockets full like OD. I can move just how I move, cause don't nobody know me. Low key, still do more numbers than your fate. You can hate, but you can't say that I've been missing any plays. Any fool, what it do? Moving quick, bustin' moves, steps ahead, cause I'm out working while you trying to catch a snooze. Keep it smooth. Not concerned with other dudes or what they do. Keep it true, I kick the truth. I'm not here so I could lose. Yeah. How'd you like it back? Tell the bank, tell her on us. Put in overtime so I do what I wanna. Yeah. Alright, yeah. Okay, okay. Hey. Alright, yeah. Okay, okay. When I work on full court press, nothing less than a honor. Full court press, straight flex, close the curtain. Full court press to the top from the surface. Yeah, and I stay humble. Hit me for a feature, don't you come with no petty numbers. Talking about some leverage, but you been had plenty from us. Fed you for the low so I could double when the any coming. You can't take a penny from us. Full court press, Bobby Knight with my attitude. You wouldn't understand, so I can't be mad at you. You ever had to roll coins to get to the next week? Working for the 10, had to rush to the 10 and 2. What you know about that? And that made me a better man. Now it's backstage business to shake your hands. I don't do this for Instagram. This is real life for real. My real life for real. For real. So I do what yeah. Alright, yeah. Okay, okay. Okay, okay, hey, yeah. Full court press, none stress when I work on. Full court press, none less than a honor. Full court press, straight flex, close the curtain. Full court press to the top from the surface.
You might have to give it just a little bit of gas.
Look at those lights.
Oh, that looks so sick. That looks crazy.
What'd you think?
They need to sell a candle that smells like this.
You did the right thing hiding in the corner.
Those halos are cool.
Dude, I've been watching it for months. It's sick. No idea.
That looks insane.
I was like, wow.
Well, guys, because of all the rushing to get this build done on time for the party, I wasn't quite ready to hand it over to Tyler completely. Just like with any build I do, I like to ride around a little bit and make sure that everything is nice and tight and nothing needs to be adjusted or tightened up. I decided I'm going to haul this bike home to give it another once over and make a few finishing touches to make this thing perfect. But before I left, I wanted to do some quick jetting with Tyler to show him how it's done, and we took it to a field to have a little bit of fun with it.
Dude, why is he riding my four-wheeler, bro? I didn't tell him he could.
Actually probably go a little bit richer. Since you took it out before, some of it still got the bog in the top end. How's it sound? It's got plenty of bottom end. The top end isn't crazy. But I might be able to jet it up and get a little bit more top end. Probably has about double the horsepower.
Double the horsepower?
Okay, yeah. That makes sense.
Oh my God!
Feel better?
Oh, you ruined my birthday! The hell?
I'm keeping it. Better though? Yeah. It was way lean, dude. I went up like 7 sizes, and I think it could still go. The top end falls off a little bit.
Can we cut it right here and just put wild dad, and then I'm just gonna keep it.
What do you think power-wise compared to a regular Banshee?
It's got some shit to it, yeah. It's fast. Way more low end, for sure.
Yeah, right?
The other Banshee, it builds quite a bit, and when you're in the high end, you know, like 3rd, 4th, 5th gear top end, then it feels really fast. This is like very shortly after getting on the throttle at all.
Literally the way I built it. I was just telling you, Pop, that.
It won't keep these tires underneath of it.
No.
They just spin.
Holy shit.
All right, guys, we are back. We're here in Philadelphia. This quad has been all over the place, man. It started in Tijuana, went to California, came over here to Philadelphia. We drove it to Tennessee. Now it's back in Philadelphia. We're gonna be fixing it up, and then we're gonna take it back to Tennessee, man. This thing has got some miles on it, man. It's been all over the place.
Well, guys, we did it. We took an absolutely thrashed 2003 Yamaha Banshee that literally had one foot in a casket and the other foot on a banana peel. I mean, this thing was just about ready for the scrapyard. Damn near not even good for parts. And we turned it into a 1992 replica with some custom touches that seriously added performance. The 421 on this thing seriously shreds, and adding the +2 A-arms, the extended axle, and the dual-rate Elka suspension really makes this thing handle nicely. Before taking it back to Tennessee, I did get the Cascade Innovation seat cover, and it looks just like the OEM cover. It looks beautiful. And while I was having that made, I had custom headlight covers made to really make this thing look like it just came out of 1992. There's a number of other things I did, such as making a custom airbox and also customizing the foot peg and the brake lever so that it no longer rattles or has any rub at all. If you guys want to see more details on this Banshee build, there is a full build series that you guys can watch, and I'll have that linked in the description below. Thank you guys for making it this far in the video and for helping me restore this Yamaha Banshee. Building this quad and shooting the video series, as well as making this start to finish build video, I literally have about 750 hours of work in it. If you guys enjoyed the video in any way, shape, or form, please consider hitting the like button, and also consider leaving a comment in the comment section below. Also consider hitting the subscribe button. That helps me out tremendously, and it keeps me making videos like this. Thank you again. I love all you guys, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out.
It's pretty nice, man.
These are so cool looking.
Did you make this?
Yeah. Nope. I don't know. It's been a long project.
What was like one of the first things you did? Like,
so first thing I did was I filled it up. Installed the monkey bars. I filled it up. I installed 3-piece rotary motor.
3-piece rotary motor.
And yeah, we took it rock climbing, and it worked.
It's a good mod. Good mod.